Most of the year, like many holy teachers of his time, the Buddha would walk from village to village, teaching, answering questions, and talking with all sorts of people. One day, together with some of his followers, the Buddha arrived at the town of Kesaputta, home of the Kalama people. "The Buddha is here! An enlightened one is here!" The news spread of the Buddha's arrival. They had heard about this teacher, a man famous for great wisdom. Everyone wanted to see him. Respectfully, they sat down around him. They had a burning question.
Sir, we often have visits from holy teachers. Each one tells us how to live our lives. Some say, if you want to be happy, it's very important to burn the right kind of incense every evening. Another says, no, you just need to wash your hands with cow's urine every morning.
And then other holy teachers come along with their ideas and say they are right and the other teachers are stupid. We don't know who to believe. How can we tell which of them is speaking the truth?
That they are right and the other teachers are wrong.
I'm not surprised you are confused, because this is indeed a difficult question. It's important not to believe what someone tells you just because lots of other people think like that, or because it is traditional, or because there are rumors about it. Don't believe someone because they seem to know the scriptures very well, or because they have strong opinions. Also, don't believe what someone says where there is no evidence, or without much discussion, or just because it sounds familiar. You can't even just believe someone who seems knowledgeable and educated, even if you feel respect for them as your teacher. The only way to know whether someone is speaking the truth is to test their advice in your own experience. Then, if you feel really sure that a teaching is likely to cause harm or unhappiness, you should reject it.
If following a teacher's advice makes you feel greedy or angry or full of hatred or confusion, is that helpful?
No, certainly not.
Ask yourself how things might turn out if you follow a particular piece of advice. For example, if you take things which aren't yours, are you likely to cause harm to yourself or others?
If you speak untruthfully, or cloud your mind with drink or drugs, are you likely to cause harm to yourself or others?
You can also think about someone more experienced than you, whose opinion you already respect. What would they think of this teaching? If you really think following a particular piece of advice would help you and others become happy, then go ahead, follow that advice.
To avoid greed, hatred, and confusion? If you found that following a piece of advice helped you, such a teaching would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Yes,
it certainly would.
A person who is free from greed, hatred, and confusion will feel much better.
If your mind is free and peaceful, and your heart is full of love and compassion for the whole world,
you will experience great comfort and happiness.
I have asked you to look to your own experience to decide whether something is worth following or not. But when it comes to the problem of what happens after death, it's not possible to do this, is it? There are so many views and opinions, but how can we know in our own experience.
However, remember what I have taught you today, that living ethically, with kindness and wisdom, leads to your happiness and well-being. This is true for this life, and if there are future lives, it will be true for those too. So, regardless of what you believe, the important thing is that you are trying to live with a clear mind and a kind heart, and that you consider the consequences of your actions for yourselves and others around you.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. It's like someone lighting a candle in darkness.
The Kalamas were so impressed and grateful at the Buddha's answer.
So, regardless of what you believe, the important thing is that you are trying to live with a clear mind, a kind heart, and consider the consequence of your action for yourselves and others around you.